The Out of Our League podcast is proudly sponsored by New Scotland Spirits. New Scotland Spirits distills rye, wheat, bourbon, and single malt whiskies from grains grown in the fields of New Scotland, New York, and then ages its spirits for over half a decade in charred oak barrels at the base of the Helderberg Mountains. Order online at newscotlandspirits.com and raise your game with our Helderberg whiskeys. New Scotland Spirits. Nostalgia in a bottle, a good time in a glass.
Oh shit, are we on?
Yeah.
Oh, fire.
Earlier in some of our prior episodes, you keep talking about the quote-unquote boys' league.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me, who and what is the boys' league?
Oh, sorry.
So
fiancé,
it's
her fiancé.
yeah, it's our fiancés. They're also in a 12-man league. They were the original league. A lot of our friendships started because of them, because
Yes.
they hang out so innately as a group. We hang out.
So does that mean that a lot of the members of the LOCAS League are dating members of the boys' league, or is it just the two of you?
No,
No.
it's me, Figs, Stephanie, Michelle,
Oh, goodness. It's a lot.
and well, it was Jackie,
Yep.
ex-husband,
Yep.
but yeah, now it's just us four.
He's also not in the league anymore.
Well,
so.
he's not on the league anymore.
Okay, so now there's a boys' league, and because of the boys' league,
Mhm.
a companion auxiliary girls' league developed. But is there any type of relationship between the two of you guys? Do you do league events together? Is there
No.
the leagues don't overlap in any way?
No, I mean we watch football Sundays sometimes, but it's football Sundays. I don't say it's like a league thing. It just we watch football Sundays together sometimes
Yeah,
because it's again the group.
The first year it overlapped just because, Manny was still, whatever we're calling him, was still, Jackie's ex-husband was still,
Frodo,
Jackie's ex-husband was still in the guys league, and then,
and so was Jackie, and
And-
they were together.
and Jackie started the league, and then it actually, draft was held at their house.
Yeah, so like
So the guys came
Yeah.
over afterwards, and that's
Correct.
how I met a lot of them.
So the first draft day was actually at Jackie's house.
Correct.
Jackie
I
and her ex, yeah.
I remember another from an earlier episode. You guys called that HQ.
Frodo.
Yes.
That was headquarters.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and so now draft day for the Locust League has moved to your house, Greta.
My house, yeah.
And what
HQ too.
what do the boys think of their significant others, the girls' league? What do they think of your fantasy football league?
I'll let Figs go first.
I know that he absolutely loves the fact that I am invested on Thursdays, Sundays, and Mondays to watch football with him. He loves it. Like, honestly, it's something that he really enjoys. The fact that I'm partaking in it now, it's something that we do as a couple together. I know Frank loves it.
So
He also gets annoyed as shit of me because I am very
Invested.
invested. So he obviously says and comments, that's how I was at the beginning. So sometimes he gets a little condescending. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember my first.
Ew.
I remember my first 3 years when I was nervous, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
and I was like, oh, aren't you a Sacco this year?
Oh, shots fired there.
well, I'll tell you what. I'd like to get your respective significant others
Yes.
on the phone to talk
Let's
about what they have to
fucking
say.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what they think about
I
Out of Our League.
apologize in advance
I can't wait for this.
for
This
the
is gonna
shit
be
that I
fantastic.
put up with. Now the listeners get to put up with it.
So while Elayne is dialing in, and correct me if I'm wrong, the gentlemen with whom we're going to be speaking out are Frank of the Figs variety,
Figs and Frank, correct?
and then Corey of the Elayne variety.
Corey.
Corey.
Elaine.
Ah,
See how you can do it?
I like
I thought
it.
I had Frank's number here, but
Wow.
so sorry.
Let's
Here you go.
methinks she doth protest too much.
Oh boy.
Forgot.
Hello?
Is this Frank?
It is.
Frank, welcome to Out of Our League. If you could stand by for a second, we're going to conference in your friend and fellow league member, Corey. Just give us
Corey.
about give us about 30 seconds.
You got it.
Hi, Frank.
It's Corey calling. Hello?
Hello?
Is this Corey?
This is Corey.
Corey, stand by 1 second. We're merging in your friend and fellow league member, Frank. Gentlemen, do I have both Corey and Frank on the line?
You got Corey.
And Frank?
Yep.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining the program. So here's the question, because I have obviously, I think both you gentlemen, you have significant others here in the room, along with Greta, who's often hosting draft day and other of the league events. First thing that we want to know is, what do you think about the LOCAS League? What are your thoughts about your significant others and their friends having a league that's kind of an auxiliary outcrop of your league?
Oh man, Corey, what did we sign up for?
I have no idea. I think it's a unique league. It's an all-female league, which is kind of cool. I personally have never heard of an all-female league, so it's the first I've heard of, and I think it's pretty unique. What do you think, Frank?
I think it's called LOCAS for a reason. For those that don't know, LOCAS means crazy females, which is accurate.
Now, Corey, you said something that I think is interesting. I mean, is it rare in the world of fantasy football to have a league that is exclusively female?
I mean, and this is no disrespect to females that like fantasy football or sports in general. I had never seen one before until this LOCAS league. So I would say it is somewhat rare.
And I guess this is a question for both you or Frank. I mean, how do they stack up, both in terms of being serious about following their respective teams and in their overall understanding of the game? I know that, like, the conventional wisdom is that maybe women wouldn't be as plugged into the sport. Have they proven that is in fact not the case?
They're definitely committed. I'll tell you that much. They're definitely all in on their teams. They definitely watch every snap, just like we do. They're starting to learn a lot of the strategy, not only of football, but of also fantasy football. I believe it's only their third year, if I'm not mistaken. So they're all in, and I can tell you their heads are rolling. So, I mean, they probably told you they've already kicked out people that they felt, were not up to par in commitment or even fantasy knowledge. So, I mean, they're cutthroat, man. They're definitely committed.
I'll just come out and say it. They seem to have indicated, and I hope I'm not putting words in your mouth, ladies, but they seem to have indicated that they're a little bit more strategic and level-headed about both their picks and as they proceed through the season, like the strategies they use. They say that because just generally you are quote unquote males, you're less serious about it. You're a little bit more emotional. That's what they've expressed to me. Is that a fair assessment or not?
Have you ever heard a chef say that his plates are subpar to another chef?
I've never. Yeah, I don't know that I've heard that. No.
Exactly, because every chef has a great plate of great bread. They can whip you this and they can whip you that. But let's be honest, every chef is good at certain things and some are better at others. You know what I mean? So let me be political when I say that, everyone is good at something in the league, whatever it may be. Now, I don't know if on a general basis they are more strategic, I think you said, with the picks and the movement and the setup with everything. I don't know if Corey wants to elaborate a little on that one as well.
I think I want to plead the fifth on that question, honestly.
Well, this is why I ask. I obviously appreciate you folks being so diplomatic. I was told that there's a reason that Frank is Sacco.
There's a reason that I'm Sacco.
Yeah,
okay, that's true.
And specifically, the reason why I wanted to get you guys on the phone is that they say that it's because just being men, you don't put the time and energy into, into following your sports.
Oh man, okay, that's
a bold claim.
Yeah, I mean, if any of the ladies giggling want to chime in and just want to ask any form of sports question.
Neither
I
of you
can lob
belong
you
to me,
one.
so this isn't my
Actually,
battle.
Frank,
Can I lob you a sports
Frank.
question?
Frank, should we ask who's the quarterback of the Denver Broncos to any of the females on the call?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, in your face.
So, I mean, is that really what it comes down to? That if, let's say that they were going to make these two teams, there was no gender restrictions, that the more serious players are going to go to the LOCAS League than to the Boys League. That's what they call it. Do you guys have a name for your league?
Yeah. Is this PG? Because I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
rated
already
R.
let one
Rated R.
slip.
NC-17.
We are the League of Extraordinary Assholes. That is our league. Proud and loud with it.
And how long has this league been in existence? How long has the current 12 members been a part of this league?
This is going to be the first year of the current 12.
Okay.
The
And
league's been
that
in
explains. I
existence
mean,
for-
that
this is
explains
the
it. So
8th season.
okay. So how long have how long have you two? How long have you been in a league? And I'll tell you where I'm going with this in a second. But how long have you two been in this league?
8 seasons.
8 seasons. So it's been 8 seasons. Okay.
Though Frank and I were in other leagues in the past prior to this.
Correct. Before we made this one.
Oh, how cute.
Oof.
That's kind of this. I'm not going to say to whom I attribute this, but I wanted to get you on the call because I think that they unfairly. This is my impression. I think they unfairly say that the male league is not serious about it. That you really are just getting the benefit of being men, and so people are going to give you more credibility. They're confident that in terms of intellect, strategy, that they are the superior league. I have no idea. This isn't my world. So, do you gentlemen think that's fair?
My question is, how do you even say one league is better than the other? Again, we're talking about a kitchen full of chefs. I have a friend that plays 10 league standard, and he says that's the best league in the world. Oh wow, you guys get to put up 80 to 90 points. And again, I get it. And I get it. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it, ladies. You guys are the shit. You are. You guys have a great league. There's rivalries brewing. It's year 3. You're feeling great. Junior year, you're swagging with the upperclassmen.
We are the upperclassmen, motherfucker.
I know. You finally get to juniors.
Frank,
So
Frank,
what?
do you think there would be an existence of a LOCAS league if Jackie was still in our league?
Wow. Are you trying to stir a pot right now, Mr. Gill? You stirring a pot over here, Mr. Gill?
Mr. Gill, there
I
were
mean,
certain
you guys
things
didn't
that
give
were
us
off
the trigger
topic, but if you're
warning,
going to bring it up.
Yeah, we
I mean,
were.
I don't
How
know
is
if that's
it-
even been discussed.
How is it that you guys are better? Like how and
Go
how
get
are
your
you
man.
better at-
Go get your
at being
man.
a league?
I need to call my counselor.
If you could see.
I need to call my legal counselor.
I'll just take a picture of it.
In terms of the amount of time that you and your fellow members spend any given week during the season, do you think that it is more time, less time? Should it be more time than the girls spend on when they're on their league over the course of the season? They seem to think that a lot of that has to do with how serious the respective leagues are. That to them this is a big deal, and for you guys it's kind of just an afterthought.
I would say the LOCAS league, which is a very real, committed, great league, is modeled off of the male league actually, because the original commissioner that started the LOCAS league was actually in the League of Extraordinary Assholes. So I believe she took that kind of model on how to draft and how to do the stack, which was kind of patented.
Oh wait, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. You guys do something called what's it called? I forget what it starts. Oh yeah, the gauntlet. How'd you guys come up with that one?
It's the man I'm
That's a good one.
gonna the man I'm gonna marry gave me some ideas.
Wait,
how
hold
to
on.
do it.
I think they've raised some interesting. This is what I was actually. They've raised some interesting points. Is it fair to say that your league wouldn't even exist if it weren't for the male league?
I would say so.
So is it also fair to exist?
Doesn't mean that we're not better.
do you think? And I'm curious. You guys seem to ask me that. You guys had offered some of this. Why did Jackie break off and start her own league? Was it because, from her perspective, it was like you guys had an inferior league to one that she could create?
There was just a fallout. Let's call it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Okay.
it was.
Acceptable.
Without getting too much into it, it was just a little fallout.
Yeah, without getting too personal, it was a little fallout. There was
Acceptable.
fallout, just like any group of people or group of friends may have over the years. Maybe one,
These
fallout.
the girls here, they talk about how they have it seems like routine executions of members in their league. They're kicking people out left and right.
Pretty much.
Do you similarly have the same volatile and emotional membership?
By no means, no.
You don't.
To an extent, though, because we definitely want, and I think it's what both leagues can agree upon, is that we're definitely trying to get people that are going to be committed to it, at least to some extent, right? Like, you got to at least try.
So
Some
you're
people join a fantasy football league and don't do anything or try or, be involved. And I think both of us, we at least look for that.
Are any of your decisions as to who should be kicked out of your league driven by menstrual cycles?
Well, no. And then second to that, or to kind of piggyback on that, no one in our league has ever been like
No one gets kicked out. This is
no
blood
one's
in
ever
and blood
been
out.
kicked
This isn't easy go.
right. Like they just willingly wanted to leave the league for one reason or another. That honestly is kind of private, but nonetheless, it is what it is.
I mean, you better not
Pussies.
miss brunch. I'll tell you that fucking much. You better not miss our brunch.
Yeah, brunch.
Yeah, that was, I think, the first kick out within.
We still live?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, you're still
Might have
live.
dropped out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're awesome.
Constantly live.
constantly alive.
I'm telling him that.
sorry,
my
sorry.
free contract is
Wow.
up.
Elayne put you guys on mute.
I am so sorry. I had muted you guys for a split second.
Oof, we just ripped you. Oh man.
Oh, no, we heard you.
Yeah, we could hear you. You just couldn't hear us.
Oh, okay, cool. So then my free contract is up. I need to talk to my lawyers, and I'll send you over
I
the
have one in the
paperwork.
room.
Is there any advice?
Yeah, I got mine on the way. He's eating happy hour.
Is there any advice that you can offer these relative newcomers to the world of fantasy football? I mean, they've only been doing it 3 years. It sounds like you guys are veterans, 8+ years in this world.
Male veterans.
Male veterans. What do you think they should be looking out for? What can they expect in their league over the course of the next 2-5 years?
Excuse me, hold on. Before anything, did you guys just assume my gender? Did you ask me?
Excuse me.
Wow.
I can
Honestly,
very well. I can
honestly,
very
I'm
much
gonna-
assume your gender, sir.
No. What? No. That's not my gender.
Tell me your pronouns.
But we'll continue. Again, my lawyer's on the way. No worries. I mean, what I would tell them, even when they started, I mean, they're doing it, is just dive in. A lot of people think that it's just picking one person or another and that's it. But, there's layers to it. And the best part about it is doing it with your friends. So, I mean, try to not kick people out. I think that's my advice. Try to have some consistency flowing. And
The kicking out is consistency.
that is true. Touche. You can consistently have a new league member.
Well, I really appreciate you guys making some time. I think a lot of what they've said about you clearly was unfair because you seem to be very upstanding gentlemen and seem to be very serious about your league.
We try. But I'm tackled for a reason.
Well, I will. I'm sure as this podcast develops, that they'll be checking in with you relatively frequently. So thank you so much for taking the call, and we look forward to having you on the program again.
We love you guys.
All
Thank
right,
you.
guys.
Guys, love you.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye, chefs.
What a bunch of trolls.
Yeah.
They are the cutest. What do you mean? They're so cute.
I think
Fuck was Frank. And there's one chef doesn't talk. Okay.
Well, I think I'm gonna keep Corey, guys.
God, that was
I
a
think I'm gonna keep him.
oh,
What a
that
reach.
little pot
You know?
stir. I was surprised. I was surprised. I'll leave it at that.
That's
Where we should leave it.
no comment. My legal counselor's on the way.
When people enter the world of fantasy sports and specifically fantasy football, how do they know literally how it's done? Like the rules. Where do they find that out? How do people become aware of how your league works?
I mean, we also in the brunch, the famous brunch, we kind of decided some big rules. The major decisions that you have to make as a league are a few. One, how many members?
Okay.
Because that makes a big difference.
So it's 12 was something that you guys decided on.
Anything less than 12 sucks because there's so many players. Like it's not I feel like it's less competitive. Anything more than 12 is chaos. Like to me, 12 is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think so, right?
I don't know. I was brand new to everything. I hated it.
Kind of like to piggyback off that, I'm just gonna steer away from feminism for a second. But honestly, the way that I came to find out about a lot of things was like to reach out to guys
Yeah.
that knew what
It's
that
true.
had played.
There's not a lot of female.
Like, what female can I call on my phone and be like, yo, how do you play fantasy? Like, you can't.
That's exactly how they sound.
Yeah, right, exactly.
My
name is
Patty.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Right. So, I reached out to my ex-husband. He was very helpful. And I reached out to other, like my brother, guys that like had played fantasy before. And then you guys obviously had your men playing in their league. So, like, you know, you knew from their rules and all that kind of stuff. But, like, I'm not going to lie to you. The first year, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I don't know how the fuck I ended up in third place. I had no idea what I was doing.
Me neither.
What's a PPR?
First of all,
What is it?
Did not make it seem that way. Like you were fantasy football god. I had no idea that you didn't know what you were doing.
I never know what I'm doing.
No, but for real.
No, but for real. If
No.
my job is listening, you know
No.
how I learned how to do everything?
but for real.
Google.
Oh boy.
I didn't go to insurance academy. I came from private criminal law defense, and then I went to an insurance place, and I was like, how do you do this? That's my job. So I don't. You just got to learn and keep up and stay. You always got to keep the thirst for knowledge going.
I mean,
Get the fuck off your phone.
I'm sorry. I just have an annoyance.
My
It's like a fly that you can't swat.
Swat it, girl.
Anyway,
Swat
so I mean, I just figured I knew some basics also because of Frank. Like, he is a co-commissioner with Corey.
Yes.
In their league, and I asked him, you know, some questions. Like Jackie also is the one that put it together, so she also knew from the league as well. When Jackie and I were initially talking about it as co-commissioners, we decided yes, we wanted to do 12. Again, when you go less than 12, the player pool is much larger, so
It's annoying.
it's not fun. It's not competitive.
Participation trophy is basically what it is.
Pretty much. And then 14, you're just clawing at each other's eyes out. So 12 is a good sweet spot. And then the other major decision you have to make is the scoring type. That's a huge one. There's two scoring types, you know, standard leagues and PPR. PPR stands for points per reception. So for every reception that your player has, they get an additional point. And to me, that makes it really fun because, and it also changes your strategy, right? Like if, for example, I'm going to pick a running back in a PPR league, I'm going to try to go for a running back who also catches.
Right.
In a standard, it doesn't matter what I do. Yeah. So I think PPR is fun. If you listen to one of our shows where we bring on Frank and Corey, they actually allude to one of our friends, mutual friends, who's in a standard league and how lame it is. So people who are in a PPR league are pretty loyal to PPR and kind of shit on the standard leagues. And then people who are on, it's very divisive. People who are on standard leagues are like, oh, I don't need to have inflated scores to feel good about my players.
It's like what Frank said in that other show about the chefs. It's like every chef loves their own plate, and they're not going to say, you know, that it's better or worse than somebody else's. It's like every chef has their shit.
But both the Boys League and the LOCAS League, they're PPR.
Yeah, because it's the fucking best, so.
So now that you've established the rules, everyone who came into it.
Jesse, what does PPR stand for?
Points per reception.
Good, I'm just making sure you're staying with it.
I'm so glad you didn't ask me that.
Stop.
And I'm sitting right here.
But here's the crazy thing, and so this is actually my question for you. When I watched you at draft day, and then certainly in the time since, like you obviously know what you're doing.
Well,
And so like the question I have is like how did you develop a sense from the time that you went to the inaugural brunch where you guys set up the rules, you set up the league, and then you were off to the races? How have you like developed an understanding of how this shit works?
well, I think it's also my 3rd year in, and as Figs mentioned, Frank and Corey, our fiancés, they are commissioners in their league, so they're super dedicated. The first year, I will say I had no idea what I was doing. Corey
Me
did
neither.
help me a lot.
Me neither.
Frank helped me a lot too.
He did help me, but
My
this year,
ex-husband as well. And
There
he
you go.
fucking is the worst. He was the worst.
yeah. Well, this year
Right.
I was able to, with my Excel sheet. Now I knew players, not all the players, but I knew most of
Your
the players.
Excel sheet? Not.
Well, Corey's Excel sheet. Thank you so
No,
much.
I was gonna say Yo-Yo's. I hear that So Yo-Yo is Steph.
Oh.
I'm really
Steph
glad.
is one of our members,
I'm really glad you brought this up.
and
we go.
I have heard just
Here
nonstop
we
shit
go.
about this Excel sheet. So I wanted to confirm whether or not you had Yo-Yo's Excel
No,
sheet.
I love the conflict between those that don't use Excel sheets and those that do.
I actually love that we brought up how we organically just brought up the Excel sheets. So I guess it was this year that there was a lot of trolling.
Oh my god!
Remember?
Oh my
There was a
God.
lot of trolling in our chat, particularly this year, about using Yo-Yo's Excel sheet, right? And he's so proud of his Excel sheets that even his name in his league is X gon' give it to you.
Oh,
Like
wow.
Excel.
Oh, really?
Yes. Anyways.
Excel is a constant mystery to me. I'm fighting for my fucking life in Excel each and every day.
Point is, as we're trolling about the Excel sheet, about Steph using yo-yos, Jackie using yo-yos,
Jackie has Yo-Yo's Excel sheet?
she's trolling Steph. She's like, "Oh, I also got
Yeah, that
yo-yos
was
Excel
a good,
sheet."
That was a
whatever.
really good troll.
Yeah. Steph's way to cope with it was, well, Elayne uses Corey's Excel sheet.
Oh my god, bro.
But the
And she was in the car with me, and she's like, "It's so funny how they always troll me for using Yo-Yo's Excel sheet, but Elayne uses Corey's, but nobody knows. Nobody knows." And I go, "Well, now we do."
well,
Thank you.
For the record, Corey did not use the same Excel sheet that I used. He went with the paper route.
It's
My
just
cheat, like
fun.
the cheat sheets that I did.
Yes.
Fire.
So
I love the
there you
cheat.
go.
Me
But
too.
That's not. I thought you were gonna go with another story that happened at draft day.
Which one?
Someone give me Yo-Yo's fucking Excel sheet. I
No,
want to
no,
see it.
No.
You want Yo-Yo's Excel sheet?
I want to see it.
You want Yo-Yo's Excel sheet? Steph is Sacco. You want it?
No.
Guys, it's the Wi-Fi. Who has the Wi-Fi at your house? Who couldn't log into their Excel sheets because of the Wi-Fi?
Oh, my god. Wait, at my house?
Yes.
She couldn't get onto my Wi-Fi?
Bruh.
She was having a cow.
Wait,
you don't remember?
Do you remember there.
This, Jesse?
Who I don't
Okay,
remember this.
so I always sit in the same spot at Greta's house for draft day.
Okay.
It's Steph by me, Michelle's behind me, right?
I'm under the
As soon
table.
as
I'm
you
under
are
the
under the
table.
table.
I'm in the
As
kitchen
soon
always.
as I get there, I know, let me get the Wi-Fi. Why?
You
Because
already have it. You're on it. You're at my house every week.
it was a different laptop. But anyways, let me get the Wi-Fi because when draft comes, I'm going to be wasted. So I don't need to worry about that, right? Steph waited till the last minute to ask for the Wi-Fi. And her Wi-Fi was not connecting to her laptop. So we started draft because we were already running late. I remember you started the timer.
That's right.
And she's like, "Wait,
Panic.
my Wi-Fi's not connecting. My
At the
Wi-Fi's
disco.
not connecting." And nobody was reacting to her. And she's like, "Oh my God, you guys, stop. And I'm just like,
Freaking
what do I
out.
do? What do I do?
Floundering.
But-
Because she had all of her.
Yo-Yo's. She had all of Yo-Yo's Excel sheets on there.
And I guess apparently she didn't realize that she can use those Excel sheets offline.
Yeah, like what the
So she
fuck?
found out-
Excel is on the computer.
So she found out that
it's
day.
locally
Standard program.
It's local.
Well, she found out that day that it could be used offline. But yeah, I thought that was a story that you were going to
So
say.
my
You're
question:
welcome.
did she or did she not use Yo-Yo's these famed, like infamous Yo-Yo's
I
Excel?
mean, I don't know if they're
sheets?
so infamous because Yo-Yo has never made it to playoffs.
Yeah, he won 1 year.
Oh.
Okay,
He won
so
1 year, but
did-
he was also Sacco last year.
that
And then
1 year?
she didn't learn, used the same Excel sheet, and guess who's Sacco this year?
keep those Excel sheets the fuck away from me. I don't want to see them. I take it back. I retract everything.
Let me ask a question that's derivative of what you guys were talking about before when you came into the idea, the world of fantasy football through either boyfriends or through friends or whatnot. So this is not an activity that's generally associated with, female friend groups. Not that I've seen.
Correct.
Would you say that fantasy football is something that you would recommend and think that more women should get involved in? I mean, has it enriched your friendships? Is it a big part of your lives now?
Some of my friends are because of fantasy.
Right. This right here is because of fantasy.
I mean, not this, but me and you.
Yeah.
Me and you.
100%.
No, this too.
Yeah.
Oh,
my relationships with you guys are
Yes.
because of fantasy.
Yes.
And I mean, is it something that just women in general can get involved in, or is there a reason that you particularly?
No,
the
you
12
have
of
to
you
have
got
you have to
involved?
have some type of mental disorder 100% to start with.
Why
You
is
have to be a
that?
masochist.
Yeah, you have to and just constant availability.
Because
don't-
why? Explain it to me. Like, why
Well,
is
I mean,
it
at
such a
least-
time suck?
If you're gonna be involved in a league like ours where you get kicked out, then you got to be there. You got to be present.
You have to show up. You have to be a part of the
You
game.
also have to be, unfortunately, for Kathri, an alcoholic. Kathri is our.
Audrey.
I hope she's gonna be
I hope
okay.
She's
okay.
gonna be fine.
I don't think she will be.
No,
Me neither.
I think so.
But yeah, no, this entire thing, and I mean, look what's sprung from it.
We've now done a couple of episodes, and I've been honored that you guys have let me kind of be a part of the
We're honored by you, Boppy.
Locas League.
Mm.
Can you give me a little bit of insight as to who these people are? Like, we've said their names. People who have followed, they obviously are familiar with the names of Steph and Preems and yada yada yada. But let's go through them. So, what do I need to know about Danilee, newest member?
So
What the fuck are you doing?
sorry. Danilee is she's Kathri's best friend of 29 years now.
Yep.
And it's funny because Kathri and I have actually been pushing for Danilee since that first brunch at Booyah where we kicked out Cutie. But I think Steph replied first.
Yes.
So we had Steph, obviously it was we're trying to be fair or whatever. So Steph came in. That was a great addition. That was, she started it off and all that. But I've known Danilee for years, not as long as Kathri and her alcoholism, but I just always felt like she was going to be such a great fit because she kind of had the same vibe, the same trolling, the same sarcasm. She could deal with a bunch of things. And she's just one of those people that.
Greta, I have to interrupt because you made me think of something when you said that you'd been trying to bring her into the league for a long time. Are there women out there, friends of yours, who are trying to get into the league, but there are just no spots for them to join
Yes.
yet?
Yes. I have girlfriends that every time that I post something about the league, they're like, please let me participate in this.
So do you.
Yeah.
Figs.
Yeah.
How many would you say? Are we talking 2? Are we
I
talking?
have 2.
Wow.
That are viable? Zero. Not that Donna
one.
Lee was my only option.
I have one viable.
Ali.
So in
I
other
have
words,
one viable.
there is if someone were to get booted,
What are you talking about?
Ale?
You don't think Ali's viable?
Dun dun dun.
Is it a Colombian feud that you guys got going on here?
No.
There's only
not at
room
all.
for
now
one.
the ones the women that are
One
potentially
from Barranquilla can be in.
the ones that are viable, obviously, and presumably these are Latinas or Hispanics. Are you guys concerned?
It's not a prerequisite.
Except that it does seem that whether it's a prerequisite or not, you as a league are overtly racist.
Seems like you're racist.
I'm
That's
just
very
wondering.
inflammatory.
I'm just wondering. I mean, is it a overt hatred of non-Latinos?
I went to a school with 800 girls.
None of whom are in your league.
798 are
No.
Hispanic.
We
I
live
don't
in
want
Miami.
girls
What do
from her
you-
school in our
Guys.
league. I do
Guys.
not want girls from her school in our league. Absolutely not. You
Why?
know who else went to your school? My cousin. We're not getting into it. I don't want any girls from her fucking school in our league.
We live in Miami,
No.
so it's very rare to find someone that is non-Hispanic.
Please find an Asian in Miami, and I will give you $100.
Nothing against anybody, but
It's not. It's just.
It's
the
super
pool.
rare.
It's a pool that we have.
Asian shit. I don't know that I have.
See.
Oh my god, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Start thinking.
That's crazy.
no.
Not even like my sushi guys are. Think about that.
So
Wrap your head around
hold
that.
on. Let's go back to Kadri for a second. So
Poor Kadri.
poor Kadri, yes. Greta, how long have you known Kadri?
Since even though I've known Donna Lee longer, I never met her that I remember. So maybe I have a problem, but
Oh, you're doing this now?
since
Should we go down this route?
I don't think so. It's very dark.
no, I'm okay. So since the league, basically.
Okay, so these are a league friends. Who here has friends with someone in the league that precedes the league?
Me,
And who is that?
Jackie,
Me, Jackie.
Yeah, so we've talked about Jackie before. Give me
Crystal.
Tell me about Crystal.
Katri,
Kristen.
Tell me about Crystal.
Kristen, my childhood friend.
Kristen and Figs are like Donna Lee and Kadri.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, so tell me about Crystal though. That's a name that I have not heard as much over the course of the past few episodes. What do we know about Crystal, and how would you describe her to the listenership?
She's a mom of 2.
She's Jackie's BFF, yo.
Okay.
Jackie's BFF, yo.
Yep.
Since I've known her, she's always been somebody who's like down to party. Like the first time I met her, very easygoing.
Very sweet, very caring.
Yeah.
Now, what about? Forgive me. The name of the. I think she was a bit younger. I think she was. I've heard her name here. She was the one who, in terms of engaging the theme, maybe left a little bit to be desired.
Celia.
Celia is friends with Steph. Steph brought Celia in.
And Steph and Celia, they are friends with whom?
With each other.
Yes, but how did we get Steph? She came in from
Steph,
who brought Steph in?
I brought Steph in.
And how do you know Steph?
I know Steph through Yo-Yo, who Yo-Yo is part of Corey and Frank's league.
I see. So this is of this group of people, right? So Yo-Yo is Steph's boyfriend. Fiance. And they were all tight, and so that's how you knew these people.
Correct.
And so when you guys were putting together this league, it was Greta, how did you get involved? Because you were friends with Jackie.
Correct.
So it comes from Jackie, and Jackie says, "I know Figs, and I know Elayne, and I know
Crystal.
Greta, and I know Crystal." So she starts
Katri.
putting them together, and then you bring in Steph, Elayne, because you know Steph.
When we kicked out Cutie,
Yep.
At the brunch.
we all texted someone that we thought would be a good fit for the league, even though we all had no fucking idea what we were doing.
Correct.
Steph was
one
the
who
first. Steph was the first one that answered, so we were like,
Immediately.
okay.
Are you surprised that the league has continued to develop over the past 3 years? That it didn't just fall apart because people couldn't, provide the energy to show up to the different events and to be serious about following with their drafts and the performance throughout the season? Is that surprising to you, or did you know that if everyone's showing up here for brunch, we got a real league, this thing's going forward?
I knew there was going to be a core.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be a core of people that are dedicated. I think, and we would have to ask Jackie herself, but I think the way that she put people together, I think she knew again, there was friendships that existed before the league, but then she also knew the blends of people she was putting together. So I think there's always going to be a core
Yeah.
that was going to keep it pushing forward, and we're going to have these random drop-offs.
Right.
Especially the people that are brought in by somebody else. Like
Right.
I happened to bring Kristen in, but Kristen is somebody who just branched out, made her own friends with everybody, and made her own
Right.
friendships. Now there's some people that are brought in by others that didn't last past a year. Simba being
Right.
one.
I think it's something to say for Jackie as well. Jackie has a very unique and specific, and almost like, I don't want to say mesmerizing, but it's a type of personality that you either love it or you hate it. And I think what she did was she brought in a bunch of women that loved it. And so to be that type of person that loves that, you're going to kind of mesh with each other, right?
I've noticed that if I had to describe, you're all very funny. All 12 of you have a great sense of humor. There's no question about that. The idea behind draft day is
12 is a lot.
it's a lot,
I'd
but
say 11 of us have a great sense of humor.
I would give
10,
it 11.
10 if that.
Maybe
Give it a
10.
hard 9.
Hard 9.
Yeah.
The point is that a baker's dozen of you folks No, it'd
That's
be,
13. Are you fucking kidding me?
I thought that was
Are
12.
you fucking kidding me?
A baker's dozen is not 12?
no, it's 13.
13.
Wow.
The
Okay,
point-
are you fucking kidding me?
I am done.
The
I'll
point
put
is,
my-
a lot
I'll
of you
put myself to
guys,
sleep.
a lot of you guys are funny, right? Like the idea behind draft day is it's kind of almost self mockery, right? You are taking this thing very seriously, but you are trying to kind of get into the
We
you know, the
sabotage
jest of it.
ourselves.
Exactly. That being said, this podcast, how did this podcast become the three of you? How did you three gel as like a kind of comedy trio?
I think that we have a good bond.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, I'm saying us three. Like I cut her off, so I was looking at her, but I think us three really do have like we made our own friendship, and I think we're very we're very different. There's a pretty solid foundation that's similar amongst us as friends, and I think I think we're reliable, right? Like I think we're reliable, and I
There's
think
like
we
a-
just love each other.
There's an understanding of like values
Right.
and not so much. I mean, the loyalty stems from, but like ultimately, like we understand like a certain foundation. We understand like what we all want from a friend and how like the type of way that we want to be a friend to each other.
So there's
And I'm sorry, I cut off Elayne, so
No. I retweet both.
Tell us how you love us.
Oh God, you would like that. No, both of you would love for me to tell you how much I
Tell
love
us.
you. No. I agree with both of you. I was just going to add that I can be honest with you both, knowing that neither of you, whether you like it or not, and I know
I never like it.
I know, and I still tell you. I'll
Right,
still
right.
tell you.
I appreciate that,
Hey,
though.
I don't like that you did X, Y, and Z, or like I think what you did is ridiculous. And even though, yeah, you'll get mad at me for a second, but whatever, you own up to it, I own up to it, and we move on.
yeah, we keep it moving.
So this project, there's I guess two questions at this point. The first is what's next for the league? What's literally the next event in this current season?
I don't think we're gonna do Super Bowl.
No,
What?
But we have Sacco.
What?
We have
Sacco
Sacco.
is the next event.
Hold on, why are we
No,
doing Super Bowl?
we never do Super Bowl.
Well, what if I want to do it this year?
What? You don't do the
Exactly.
Super
Let
Bowl?
me correct myself.
We do
Super Bowl.
not as a league
The
event.
thing is, we don't do it as a league event because our fiancés
Oh.
do their
Am
own
I
league
invited
event.
this year?
You are invited
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
But no, we never really do Super Bowl. We always do Sacco, depending on everyone's schedule. I
Yes.
think last year we did it around February, March. But that is our next event.
And that's
Sacco.
the end. That essentially caps the 2021 season.
Correct.
And then when's the first event of the 2022 season? Is
Draft
that
day.
draft day?
Draft day.
So,
August.
So it's basically draft day, leagues giving, leagues miss, Sacco. Each season is about 4 big events.
Yes.
Yes.
Are
I
you
would say so.
are you ever going to branch out as a league into other sports, or are you already sick of these bitches after
What
the-
other
the-
sports?
Fuck.
There's
I
only
mean,
football.
There is
Fantasy
also soccer.
basketball. Can you imagine? I would cut my veins.
I can't.
I can't.
My problem is I
play
take.
yourself?
I can't do that because I start watching them from college, which is a symptom of my brother, and then I'm committed, and then it's the whole thing, and
Can't.
I don't. It's gonna. I would have to quit my job. I'd have to quit my job because I take too much time away.
Did you know that people play fantasy baseball? Can
Fuck
you
that.
imagine?
Get out of my
Yes.
face with that.
I
don't
can't
even
even
watch
stand.
regular
I can't
baseball.
even stand actual baseball.
No, if I swear to God, if I have children and one of them plays baseball,
Pissed.
I'm not doing it.
I'm
No, I'm
pissed.
not doing it.
I'm
I'm not.
pissed.
I'm not
I'm
fucking
pissed.
doing it.
Honestly, that's
Who
the
is gonna sit through those hours?
Why is it 9 innings?
If it doesn't have a father, which likely it won't, what? Who the fuck is gonna
Can't.
sit there? My parents, because I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I am. Listen, I am steering them the fuck away from.
I'm gonna be
baseball.
like this watching Bravo.
Not even. It's 9 innings outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
You need to watch, like,
I'll move to another state so it's cooler out.
So it's frozen, so you can't play baseball.
Alaska, motherfuckers.
So that's what's next for the league. What about the podcast? What are you guys trying to achieve out of chronicling your fantasy football league? Where does it go from here? What do you want out of this production?
I mean, personally, I'd like to give other females the confidence to start their own fucking league and figure this out. You know, it's not
Yes.
that hard, and it's
So
actually
fun.
a lot of fun, and there's
So
a lot
fun.
of camaraderie and things that can come out of it.
Also
and
a
you
lot
can
of drama. Let's be honest.
a lot of drama, but you know, having like, for example, you can do things like have interventions with people and make sure that they're healthy and gonna do well for themselves. And I think that that's important in life, to just care for your friends. And
I would love to troll athletes about
Yeah.
their fantasy performance,
I would
but
just, yeah, me too. I would love to like sit
like
here
not in their
and, like,
DMs, like unresponded DMs.
Yeah.
oh, hello, Miles Gaskin. Thank you
No, no.
so much
No.
for your 54-yard performance.
No.
That cost me. Oh, Tom Brady. You want to shit on Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
As she wears Tom
love
Brady's shirt,
you.
can
yes.
we? Can we?
As
zoom
I
in on
wear
that?
you, I love you. But what the hell happened this last game?
I mean,
What the hell? You made me lose fantasy. It was your fault. I love you so much.
the way that he was throwing around the Surface Pro,
Bro.
on
The
the
Surface
sidelines
Pro.
was basically me.
That was. Did you not see my Instagram story?
No, I did, of course.
That was me. I was Tom Brady.
And
when
the
he
me-
threw the freaking tablet.
Honestly,
I'm
the,
done with this
the
life.
NFL memes, like now that I understand them, it's just
So good.
makes my life so much better.
So
I mean,
good.
to be able to be on social media and to see these NFL things coming up, and you're like, I fucking know what's happening. I love that. And to be honest, for everybody that is scared to start, it's contributed like in my own daily things, like even in my job, like I work with like the finance industry.
Yep.
I deal with a lot of like mails and whatever, and as you know, you've probably heard on other shows, this is a rarity to have this female lead.
Yeah.
So like I've been able to say like, oh, like, you know, frustrated, sorry I didn't write back to your email, I'm losing in fantasy right now. And they're like, oh my God, who's your team? Like send me a screenshot, blah, blah, blah. And it's created those kind of discussions. So
Is it even such that like you've accessed a new world because it's, you know, what would have been otherwise closed off to kind of like the stereotypical female not having access to those conversations? You in fact think that you're being kind of like brought into a conversation that previously you wouldn't have been a part of?
I'm not being brought into, I am bringing in.
Wow.
Yeah,
Also,
right?
can I want to piggyback off of this.
Love the word, love the
Please.
corporate lingo.
Please, males out there, please don't make it weird when you notice that I'm on my phone and it's fantasy, and do some weird,
Make it weird for me. I'm down for that. Make it weird for me.
hot
Same.
breathing, like, you're on fantasy?
Yeah, do it for me. This is Greta. This is Greta. Do it for me.
Wait.
I will take it.
What do you? I don't understand. What do you?
I'm standing at the big cheese, man. I'm just waiting for my pizza, and I happen to be checking my fantasy score, and the man behind the register is like, "Oh my God, you're in fantasy." He's like, "Let me see your
there's
team.
a ring. There's a ring on her finger. So if you see me doing
let
that
me see your
shit,
team." And then I showed him. He's like, "Wow, it's actually good." That is not the way.
that's the
to
way I
approach.
want to go
Well,
down.
It's actually
That-
good. It's
that ha-
actually good. No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually good. Go fuck yourself.
Well, I don't know about your man.
Ring
about
up,
the
ring
big
up my
cheese.
pizza. Ring up my pizza, and let me get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. My team is actually good. I win. Ring up my pizza so I can leave.
Well, that happened also to Greta and I. We were at the St. John concert.
Oh shit! I
and
completely forgot about
and
that.
I was sitting waiting for St. John to come on, and I'm
Fantasy's life.
looking at fantasy.
Fantasy's
and I
life.
put
blah,
up,
blah,
I
blah,
put
blah,
up
blah.
the story. I was like,
right?
when
You
fantasy
put up
is
the
life.
story on your IG, and the guy to my right was like, "Oh shit, you're in fantasy?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Let me see your team." I'm like,
And
"Okay."
I'm like, do you want to see mine?
Here,
too?"
yeah, she did reach out. Actually,
ring
that's
on her
exactly
finger.
what
Do
you
you wanna
did.
see my team?
She was like, "Oh,
I'm actually in first place.
yeah." She did say that.
Take my
She's
phone.
like, "I'm in first place. Here's my phone." I'm like, "Bitch, I hate you."
Does
Well,
this, you're
just like
telling me that
such a Neanderthal, like, oh, your team is actually good. What is it? My vagina that makes it just predetermines that I have a shit team? Like, is it my vagina, or is it my breasts that just predispose me to have a shit team?
But
Or is it the
but at the end of the day, it's like so
never the oppressed males.
you're saying you've noticed that men become extremely interested in you because you're on fantasy.
Yes.
Yes,
Wow.
it even happened at my house. One
Tell me
of-
more.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
came to my
Apparently
house.
this happens to the two.
You were there?
You were
Two of
there
them.
too.
I don't
were there?
fucking know.
You were there.
You were there.
We were watching football.
It was
A friend of a friend came over. I don't know his name,
He's
and
very polite, remember?
super polite.
Terrified,
And
terrified of spilling.
all of a sudden, I say, I don't know. I can't think of a running back right now.
I was also. on my
Oh, you
phone.
want to talk about Jonathan Taylor?
Sure,
Perfect.
Jonathan Taylor. I said, "Oh my God, Jonathan Taylor did a touchdown," and he's like, he turned immediately. He's like, "You know who that is?" I'm like, yeah, I
what the
have
fuck?
a league. He's like, you're in a fantasy football
Offensive.
league? Yes, I am, and proudly. Like, hello.
What's happened? Did your dick invert now? Are you like concerned? Are you all right? Yes,
Pure
I'm in a
shock.
fantasy football league.
Pure
What,
shock.
what
pure
do
shock.
what do okay? So what's the reaction of women who are not in fantasy football leagues?
I get the
Oh.
same reaction.
No,
I
I
do.
don't.
Oh, I got the same thing. Like, I was at the gym, and whatever the way that it's structured, I had a moment in between my necks with my trainer, and she's like, "Ugh, you're in fantasy too," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you hate your fucking husband because he's on his phone on Sundays, Thursdays, and Mondays, and probably in between just to make sure he has his, ducks in a row for Thursday, Sundays, and Mondays." I go, "Yeah," and she's like, "Ugh, I don't know how you can stand it." I was like, I mean, do you know about it? Do you know what the fuck it is? She's like, "No." I'm like, "So don't comment."
Yeah.
I don't know how you can fucking stand working out 7 days a week and training people from 9 a.m. to 7, but here we are.
So train me, motherfucker.
Like, it's just, I get this. I've gotten that reaction. I guess Elayne
No,
hasn't.
no,
but
no.
I've
I'm
gotten
so
that.
sorry. I got the same exact
I
reaction.
get the ugh.
They're like annoyed at the fact
Yeah.
that I'm in fantasy.
Who
Yeah.
are your friends?
Well,
I mean, it's not my friends, obviously.
no, those are my friends. But it's fine. They're not sporty. They don't understand the sport, so it's fine. But they're like, you have to be watching the game on a Thursday, Sunday, Monday. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I
I
want
need to
to.
see it.
No,
I
I
need to check
literally-
my phone 24/7.
I go to, I have a thing. I go to Orange Theory, and on Thursdays, I purposely do the bike because I don't have to be on the treadmill, right? So on the bike, I can sit there and start looking at roster news, start looking up waiver wires, start setting my lineup. If there's any recent news, anybody that's injured, whatever. And my coach at
we did
Orange
that.
Theory was always like, "Bitch," he's like, do not get on the bike. I'm like, "Fuck you. You're part of this league now. You're gonna let me be on the bike. You're gonna let me do whatever I want. I'm not following the workout. I'm gonna sit here." And literally for this entire season, every Thursday, I have gone on the bike. I have sat there. I have set my lineup, and he lets it go. He's like, "How much are we winning?"
Do you remember at Tap Out?
I wasn't there.
No,
Raul?
Do
Oh
you-
my god.
So he was incredibly frustrated, but I propped my phone up on a machine and I would do an exercise and run back. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "Fantasy." He's like, "Are you serious? You play fantasy football?" And I was like, "I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this whole
We left early.
revelation."
We left early
Yeah,
that
we
day.
left early. We left.
He calls me now Tom Brady. I'm like, thank you so much.
He has no idea what he's talking
No,
about.
but I'll
He
take
called me
it.
G-string, so it's
I'll
fine.
take it.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, it was a fire tangent. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think that's it for now. So thank you, everyone, for listening. We are out of our league, and if you don't get your shit together, you will be too.